Oh, hi you guys, and welcome to another little one-shot. Today, we are running a level 1 one-shot. A level 1 one-shot based on a book that I am very fond of. Or at least a chapter of a part of a series of books that I'm very fond of. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. It should be a lot of fun. So if you guys are here, you probably already know about me. And if you already know about me, you may not know that I have a Patreon. And if you would like to come and support that, that would be very much appreciated. If you're here for the first time, you'll want to look at my my social links. Discord for talking about art and D&D discussion. There's a lot of questions in there. We help new people, developers, players and DMs in there quite a lot. If you want to come and get involved in a one-shot like today's one-shot, you need to be getting on Twitter and sending me a DM. And if you're a fan of D&D and you're not in Twitter, you really need to get on Twitter, because the Twitterverse is amazing for D&D. There is such a cool, strong, inclusive, amazing community on Twitter that you guys just need to be in there. And YouTube, lastly, for the previous videos, campaigns, one-shots, etc. I'm a little behind, it must be said, but I'm not doing too bad. I'm getting back on it today. I'm organizing myself significantly, and I'm catching up with the videos slowly. Yeah, so that pretty much sums up me. So why don't we go and get the players? So let's go across and grab them now. Oh, hi you guys. You are live.
Hello.
Hey.
So, I'll set the scene, and then we'll go round in camera order, and you guys can introduce your characters to the scene. If you want to tell us a little bit about yourselves, we'll go very short, maybe just your name, and we'll do a full rundown at the end. So, today we're going to be starting on a dusty road. You are a group that have been travelling together for some time. And you will be getting low on supplies by this point. You've been traveling for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. You've used up all of your supplies. You're low on water, low on rations, all of that stuff. And just as you come over the rise, you will see a little village just in the distance. So let's go around in camera order, and we'll go first of all to Shauna to introduce us and let us know how you joined this party.
I'm Shauna. I'm playing Sugi, the little kobold fighter, and she probably joined this party because these people are probably the first people that were probably nice to her and didn't actually kill her at the first sight. And this setting is actually kind of like unfortunate because she got kicked out of her previous clutch because supplies are running low, so she might be a little stressed out.
Fantastic. And next we welcome back Zelda. Hello, Zelda. Loving the new hair.
Thank you. So I will be playing Kiara Mort, who is a cleric, and after kind of spending some time in the military doing some combat medic work, it kind of became a little bit hard on the psyche, and she decided she was not going to hang out there anymore and take that kind of mental abuse. So she left and probably caught up with these people, seeing them somehow in some sort of pickle, and either they needed someone to help them not die or someone who was nice, and she decided to just tag along for a while. And yeah, she's a woman of faith, and although she no longer serves a church of any sort, but she hopefully is nice and gets along with everyone.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. And next we welcome Petra to the channel for the first time. Welcome,
Hey.
Petra.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm Petra, and today I'm playing Rose Golden Seal, who is a halfling rogue. And for the longest time, she's been living in her little halfling village, and everything is really nice and safe. And she didn't like it at all. She's always been the adventurous one and sort of like the odd one out. Although beloved, she has a really good relationship to her family, but she was always bored and really not. Never liked the idea too much of at one point becoming a farmer or a gardener. Like, she doesn't hate it or doesn't despise it, but she always felt like that's not for me. And then she could prove not too long ago that there is something in her that yet needs to be fully uncovered when she helped her village to apprehend a group of bandits that had been sort of not terrorizing, but stealing from the village for some time. And with her being in the lead, they were able to catch those bandits, and she became a folk hero. And encouraged by her mother, she eventually decided to travel out into the world, equipped with everything that's there, and to just find out what it actually is that she would like to do with her life. And she is, for the most part, very optimistic. Maybe a little bit too much at times, and but the fact that they've been running out of supplies has been dampening her optimism a little bit. But once they're over the hill and they see the village, she's like, finally, I knew we wouldn't have to wait much longer. And she's like, onwards.
Yeah, it's a good point. I suppose all of you will be feeling fairly tired from your journeys. I mean, I imagine, in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and give you all the first level of exhaustion, as you've been sleeping on rough ground, and you've been traveling. You've not got any supplies. You're hungry and thirsty, and we look to a hungry, well, not a hungry Tony, but a hungry character in Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hi, how are you?
Very well.
Well, yeah, my character is Pippin Fortescue. He's an ex-nobleman. His father had lost the lands and title, and he's going out to try and make his fortune. And he's going to search for his sister along the way.
Of course. Of course. So, you see the town across the way. Rose makes starts heading towards it confidently.
But she's not running off, but she's like, finally, I knew it. Instead of having her strength. I don't know where she's taking it from, that sudden strength, but she has it, and she marches on. What does a village look like? Is it actually something that any rational thinking person would want to march towards?
So it is it's sort of a wooden sort of village. It has a wall around it and a gate. Which you've not seen very much in these parts. Most of the villages are quite open, maybe working into the forest or otherwise. But this one has is the word balustrade all the way around it, and the gate is open currently. But you can see guards around the gate as the sun's beginning to get low in the sky. It looks like they're getting ready to close up for the night potentially. It looks friendly enough, though. There's some damage around the place, some broken fences and things, but it looks like a reasonably normal village. People bustle about doing their usual business. It seems normal. You can, of course, you can, of course, insight check that if you want.
Pretty good.
So Pippin, being slightly I don't know, less trusting than the rest of the group, sort of sits at the back and looks and thinks, perhaps this little village isn't all that it seems. They may be hiding something, Pippin.
The balustrades, are there any guards patrolling the tops of the walls?
No guards patrolling the tops. Just when you look closer, these don't even look like guards. There's just two men sort of like bustling around the gate, sort of like looking at the sun in the sky and just being nearby, ready to close it up for the night.
Okay, it's a bit like a Western fort type of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Has everybody else stopped, or are you still walking?
No, I'll carry on. I'll stroll along behind you.
I'll be, I think, behind Kiera, because people don't like kobolds usually. They just don't come to the ground and say, "Hey, how's it going?"
I mean, the town looks nice enough. We should. I mean, if it's getting dark, we should probably camp and try and find something to eat and drink.
That's-
And from further up, you hear Rose saying, "That's what I've been saying the whole time." Do the guards notice us as we get, or they would probably notice us, but what is their reaction when we come closer?
So as you approach the guards, they will come and stand out in the middle of the road and hold their hands up and be like, the first is like, "It's getting late out here. We don't allow visitors after sunset. What is your business, and will it be completed within the next couple of hours?"
Business is just room and board, my friend.
And the sun isn't really down yet. See, there's still a little bit of, part of the sun. So it's not yet really sundown, is it?
I put my hand on Rose's head. She does have a point.
But not in an offensive manner, more like, "I'm right."
So he sort of like harumphs. Well, rooms are a no-go, but I'm sure we can provide you some food. You have gold to trade?
Out of character, do we?
Yeah.
Suppose we do.
Yeah, your wealth is only in short supply when it comes to food and lodgings. You have enough gold from your travels.
Right.
Okay. My good man, could we, find a place to stay the night? Is there
Best
a barn?
best to talk to the mayor about that business. I don't know what I can say that won't land me in trouble.
And Rose looks up Kiara. "That's weird. Why would the mayor want to be bothered if someone just wants a room?"
Yes, he seems to want to protect every single aspect of people in and out of this town.
It's strange
Yes.
that a town along a road doesn't have anywhere to stay, isn't it?
Well, let's worry about that once we get some food. Some food first, and we'll think about that later.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, may we pass?
You may pass, but be sure you speak to the mayor. And he
Absolutely.
stands to the side, and the other guard stands to the side also, allowing your little band to pass.
My good man, could I inquire where the mayor lives in this good town?
He'll be at the inn, the Golden Crown.
So there is an inn. Do inns not have rooms?
Best to speak to the mayor.
Do I notice him giving like any odd looks to Sugi?
No, he give me a perception check.
I have a passive of 15, if that's enough.
That's not too shabby. On a 13, you don't see him deliberately looking at Shuggy or anyone else. He doesn't seem to notice what race or detail about any of you. He seemed concerned with gold and the sun. And in fact, as you pass, he looks again to the sun slowly setting in the sky.
Strange. Oh well, food. Kind of bustle people in.
Yep.
It's a short walk down the street. You can see the Golden Crown ahead on the right. As you head towards it, you can see large stores of grain, salted meats, all sorts of foods and drinks at kept in warehouses. this town is almost certainly affluent.
Is there any openly for sale on the street in shops for us to take advantage of?
No one is hawking their wares on the streets. Everyone is keeping their heads down and bustling about their business. Some of them going back to their houses and taking great lengths. You'll notice. Everyone, give me a perception check. So Kiara, we'll get to whatever's grabbed your attention in a moment. For the rest of you, you can see that the gates have many locks. All the doors are very securely fastenable, and there are no children running and playing in this town, despite large green areas where they could be playing. Things aren't quite right here.
About the locks, are they the kind of locks that are like latched from the inside out, or are they locks that you need a key to get out?
They are locks that you would require a key for the most part.
Ooh. Oh no.
Yeah, I would say at this point, since Rose sees that too, she would be a little bit less chipper. Look at Sugi and be like, I've never seen something like that. It's a little bit strange, isn't it?
Yes, usually they put up some sort of fuss when, kobold comes in. They usually, is that with you? But nothing. It's weird.
I didn't notice them making any sideways glances, or they're not hiding anything that way. They really just didn't care.
Is this town lots of mixed race? Lots of mixtures of halflings, kobolds, if possible. They might be used to seeing us.
The majority are human. There are a few halflings, especially as you guys come up to the windows of the tavern. You can see that the tavern owner is in fact a halfling, and there looks to be some. It's not as though there's an abundance of kobolds and other types of those sort of people around, but there are a couple of goblins sitting at one table in the tavern.
It seems to be an amicable society here, so let's go into the tavern.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. Is this the same tavern that the mayor is supposed to be residing in? Or the inn?
Yes. Okay. Yes. And as you walk in through the door, a large woman with a chain of office around her neck stands and looks towards you, and immediately she stands flustered. Oh, it's very late for guests.
Hello. How you doing, miss?
I'm very well, thank you. What is your business this evening?
Oh, we're just looking for a place to stay over the night and just maybe get some food. That's all.
Oh, no. We don't do overnight stays. But I'm sure we could trade you some food and have you on your way within the hour. You have noticed several inns since you've been in this little village.
It's strange. You have rooms, don't you?
No, they're all booked.
Rose just stares at her with big eyes because she's never been in a situation where, especially as a folk hero, you have the abilities to fit in with simple folk and whatnot, and she's never she's always been used to being welcomed and whatnot, and so she can't compute at the moment. And looking at her fellow party members, getting seeing if they have an idea what to do.
My good lady Mayor, is it possible that we could at least refresh ourselves?
She takes a handkerchief and wipes her forehead. I suppose that would be reasonable. She looks outside at the sun. There is a washroom just at the back there. Perhaps you could wash up, then we could treaty and get you back on your way. You must have a long journey ahead of you, and we wouldn't like to hinder you.
Surely, madam, you wouldn't throw us out to the wolves per se. You have comfort here, possible, rest and food, goodly ale, I hope.
Wolves? No wolves. There are no wolves here.
I noticed quite heavy. I won't say fortification. I'd say good security on your gates and balustrades around the town. Is there something in the area that you want to protect yourself from?
Yes. Those are old from the wars. They've been in place since the old mage wars, and we've simply maintained them. That's all.
So, you're not going to be locking the gates up, and we should be able to leave in darkness then.
I would prefer it if you were on your way before the darkness came.
Oh, darkness is fine. I can see through darkness. No problem here.
But I'm so tired of sleeping out there. It would be really nice to have something more comfy to sleep on, just for one night.
And can you guys make me a persuasion check? I'll ask for Rose to give me a persuasion check with advantage due to her folk hero and you guys aiding her in this conversation.
Okay, I was gonna say that's good because character is my dumpstead.
Oh my god! I have a -1. So bad. Oh no!
I've got this.
Oh, it's very, very good for the constitution.
I'm so cute.
It's very good for the constitution and the back sleeping on the hard floors. It's truly invigorating.
I'll lean forward to speak to the woman and go, my dear, you would not chuck the Earl of Latchwood out onto the street at night, would you?
I'll have a last-ditch persuasion attempt from you, Pippin. On a 19, she softens a little. Oh, nobility. Well, I wouldn't like a bad report to go back to the magistrates or the royalty. I'll tell you what. We'll do our business. We'll do our trading, and then you can wash up and all go to bed. I'm sure we have a secure. Pleasant, comfortable room for you all to stay the night.
Thank you so much. We don't need a lot of space.
Thank you, my lady mayor. That is most agreeable.
And as it is customary, if you need any cleric work done while we're here, I'd be happy to help.
Cleric, you say? I don't. We have a chapel. I don't believe we. The pastor. She just sort of trembles and goes, shall we do trade?
Fine. If you have no work, we shall do trade. Food, please.
Yes, we have salted meats, grains, cabbages, not spoiled yet, despite the season.
I'm gonna look to the party and just kind of, what do you want?
Everything.
Oh, give me 2 seconds, and she'll quickly exit the room and come back with two two characters. One in silks and fine-looking clothes, although they look quite greasy, like they haven't been very well kept. But his fingers are adorned in jewels and things. It's clearly a display of wealth. If any of you can make a decent perception check, you'll notice that they are glass. And there is another woman with him who is adorned in a simple frock and skirt garment, but very much. She carries authority with her. She looks like an innkeeper or a head cook or something like that. She carries herself properly and looks like she could deal out stern words if needed.
I'm going to ask them. Could you let me know how far it is to the next town, please?
Oh, yes. Well, as a trader, I often trade with the next town. It's simply 10 miles further down the road. Which way did you come from? Northwards or southwards?
I think I'm traveling from the south.
Ah, to the north, yes. Yes, 10 miles past the Boarwoods, and then you shall be upon... Oh, now what's the name of that blasted town? Rattlesmere, something along those lines.
Okay. Okay, I think about a day, 2 days rations would see us through to the next town. And we could have a good hearty meal here tonight.
I can make a stew.
Well,
although I'm not sure, and I just want to do this, but everybody can still probably hear it. Do you think they will let us use like the kitchen or some fireplace? Because I don't know about you, but eating that cabbage raw gets me really bloated, if you know what I mean.
You just see like Sugi just like shaking, and she just like grabs her like coin, just tosses it back. Like, how much food will this buy? Just give us much, please.
Starts. Let me just get my abacus and starts counting. The woman starts. I hear you'll be staying here tonight. Well, I'll get you a nice meal.
Thank you.
That's most agreeable.
Thank you.
I charge a gold per night each.
Very good rates.
Yes.
Well, we're the only place on the road, and we don't often take visitors.
I'm sure your establishment will be fine for this evening.
Now go on, Cedric. That's plenty enough. Go and get them some supplies for the road. Go on.
Rose jumps a little at the last thing she says, so half behind Kiara's leg.
I'll say, can we have 4 large ales, please? Quench my dusty throat from the journey we've had.
For me, only halfling large.
That'll be the large then.
2 steins and a pint. And what about you, little kobold?
Stein.
3 steins and a pint. I'll get right on it. And she's looking out the window. And then I guess you'll be getting quite tired after this pint, won't you?
Well, we are somewhat tired. I suppose we could, retire to our rooms and rest up for the night.
Oh yes, that would be most good. Susie, go and prepare the room, will you? Go on, get off with you, girl. Get off with you. And you'll see maybe perhaps 8 to 10-year-old girl go running up the stairs in a simple white frock that has a couple of tears in it. And she runs up the stairs to prepare your room. And as though seeing those tears is like opening your eyes, you suddenly notice that everyone in the room has some sort of tear or rip on their clothing.
would any one of us be able to determine where that comes from? Like if it's just wear and tear, literally, or if something attacked them, if it was cut with a knife?
What sort of check does that feel like to you? Would that be like a survival sort of check, or perhaps something more tailoring based?
What I mean, survival would work for me.
Would an investigation?
Yeah, why not?
So either or is it investigation?
Whichever feels the best for your character.
Cool.
On an 11, a bit of both. I mean, that rip there could be from a loose nail in a fence, and that tear across down the leg there, I'm sure that's just how jeans usually split, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Rose is a little bit too intimidated by that lady with a high-pitched voice.
Yeah, sorry, headphone users, I've turned the gain down, sorry. She bustles over with two drinks in each hand, 3 drinks in one hand and the pint glass in the other. And just like, oh, here you go, here are your drinks. Now, would you like to be taking them in your room?
I think we are going to have some food here.
Oh!
We should find a table.
Can't we just go to our room and eat there?
No, I think we want to observe a little bit more first. Let's find out what's going on somewhat, just because we are sleeping under a roof. So I want to know where I am.
I think we're all getting peculiar vibes from the people around here, so I think it's best to watch for a little while.
Yeah, my vibes tell me to get away from that woman. And she agrees with everybody else, but she makes sure she gets the chair that's the farthest away from that woman.
Right! I'll get cooking for you all then. Now, don't you move a muscle. You stay in there now, won't you? Because, you know, I'll have it whipped up in a jiffy. And
Thank you.
She bustles off towards the kitchen.
I'll take a seat next beside
Everybody's so weird.
Rose.
Sorry?
I'm just going to take a seat next to you. And
Okay.
This is very, very weird.
I'm
Yeah,
hoping
she's...
it faces the bar.
Rose is clutching her pine and everybody is really weird.
It's like there's a tunnel and you know there's a trap, but you don't know where it is. It's just you feel on edge, that sort of thing.
I think we should put a guard overnight, just our own protection, possibly.
Are there still people in the room besides us?
Yes, I assume you're speaking in hushed voices around the table.
Oh,
okay.
Definitely.
I'm gonna close my eyes for a minute and actually use my eyes to the grave right away and do a 60-foot, or within 60 feet, I can sense if there's undead.
Your senses return something that you have never felt before. All of these people are alive. All of these people are undead. All of these people are dead. All of these people aren't dead, they're perfectly fine, they're healthy.
All of it at once?
All at once. It's like someone's broken the dial on your weirdometer and it's just going, wow!
Okay, so for 6 seconds, I can tell where they are, and it's just all of them?
Yes. To add to the weirdness, everyone else is a very much, they're not local sort of feel to the room, in that everyone sitting in the room at their tables is sort of looking towards yours with interest, and the mayor stands by the door wiping her hands, like dry washing her hands, looking at the sun, and then down the road towards where Cedric is surely gathering supplies.
Does anyone have a piece of paper and a pen or ink?
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to relay. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to relay what I picked up with my senses through note instead of.
Yeah, Rose would pass a piece of parchment and a pen and pencil and say, "Are you all right?"
Not exactly. And as I pass it around, just kind of, I have no idea what's going on. This has never happened before.
What does that mean?
So what did you put on the note?
Just that these people are pinging as both dead, undead, and alive.
Rose starts to chuckle. She thinks that you're making a joke. You're funny. I know you're not joking, are you?
No, not at all.
Kiara, when you say they are alive, undead, dead, alive, and so on, are they? Does it seem like it's a rolling state, and they change state all the time?
That's from what I can gather, possibly either that or they're all of them at the same time.
Oh, looking at
Somehow.
Strat, it's all over the place. Okay. I was thinking time loop for a moment then.
I don't really have any conclusion to really make. I really just don't have enough information to gather, and I don't know what to do about this.
What I said earlier, I think we post a guard in the room overnight. We'll just have to, well, rest up and be cautious overnight, or we make a move 10 miles to the next town.
I don't think we should move yet.
We haven't
Out
had
of the city,
the food
maybe.
yet, right?
No, take the food first, then we decide.
So first the innkeeper returns with food. She didn't actually take an order from you, but she's made you all soup, and she just plops it down. It's a thick, chunky vegetable soup with some broth and sort of like a minestrone / vegetable. Definitely a homemade jobby. And she's like, right, well, there you go. There's your soups now. I suggest you get them down, because you don't want to be up too late right now.
Not past sundown, right?
Yes, no, not past sundown. That's terrible. It's awfully late this time of year. If the sun goes down, then you're almost certainly up past midnight. You need your rest. Look at you all. You're tired.
That we are. Thank you for the food. If we could have maybe another round waiting, because we're all quite hungry.
I'll have it served to your room. If you take it in your room, I won't dock you any fee.
Oh, thank you. Now, we are very hungry and probably not very good conversationalists right now.
Of course.
As they're having that exchange, Rose would very slowly take a first sort of, go dip the spoon into the stew and sort of sniff it, and then very carefully taste it.
Oh, you just see Sugi just stick her snout into the bowl and just grossly just slop it down. So you'll find out in about a few seconds if something bad.
I was gonna say.
It is.
I think Rose just stops and just looks at 10, 9, 8. And when she counts down to 0 and nothing has happened, then she will. If Sugi's still alive by then, she will also eat it.
So Sugi and Rose, as Sugi is completely fine from eating this soup. It is the best tasting soup that either of you have ever tasted before. The vegetables are very fresh. The broth is full of flavor. It's simply fantastic. It's a marvel.
Is anyone else eating theirs?
Yeah, Rose is then digging in.
Because if you're not, Sugi's gonna really just eye, and it's like, are you not hungry?
Just being someone who's overly cautious, can I do a medicine check on my food?
Yeah, of course you can.
Oh, lovely.
Oh no.
I rolled a
To
1.
some people, chemistry and the use of poisons, alchemy is a book that will open wide and give forth all of its secrets. Not to Kiara, not on this day. On this day, this book is closed, it is sealed, it is a diary, and the key has been lost.
Seems fine. And I start eating it.
And we'll assume that Pippin is also eating as well, as he's had to step out for just a moment. So, next thing that occurs is Cedric returns. I have prepared a cart with all of your goods. It is waiting outside. Now, will you be leaving this evening? And he looks towards the mayor.
We have been told that we can stay the night. I believe we'd be leaving sometime around sunup.
Oh, have you now?
We've
Very
been granted permission.
most uncommon. Myrtle's Deep is very nice, or the Turtle's Mere, or whatever it's called. It's a very nice place. People dance in the street all night and drink wine.
We have the gold. That's no problem. We have gold. We have gold to stay, right?
Yes. Yes, indeed. And he sort of takes his hand, wipes it for his hair, and then rubs his hands down his silk shirt, which maybe explains some of the greased staining. Well, if you'll excuse me, it's getting late, and I would like to get back to my abode.
Oh, were those places like other towns, or were they inns around this town?
No, I'm talking about the next town. Really not that far a journey, 10 miles on a fast horse. We could give you a change of horses even. I'm sure Myrtle would give you a good deal.
Why do you want to get rid of us? It seems such a lively place here.
A tumbleweed goes down the road. No, not at all. Not trying to get rid of you. You will speak well of us to the other towns, I'm sure. Usually we trade in the mornings. The mornings are very good for us. They make a most profitable profit. I must. He looks outside again. I must be going. I must be going. Enjoy your stay. Enjoy your stay. And he hobbles off down the road.
Something's definitely up, but the food's good.
We go to our room now.
Excuse me. Your room is ready. I've prepared it.
Yes.
Thank you, young girl. What's your name?
I'm Susie.
Hi, Susie. Thank you for preparing our room.
She offers a hand.
I take it.
I'll take you there.
All right, thank you. And I just motion to follow, kind of to everyone else.
And the mayor sort of looks across and goes, "Now hurry, Susie. It's getting late. We must be in bed soon. Way past your bedtime."
Do I pick up anything from touching Susie's hand?
How do you mean? Oh, no, it's warm to the touch. She has quite a lot of energy in her. She's excited to see guests, where most are vigilant, cautious, quiet, observant. She is excited, full of energy.
And she's the only child we've seen so far?
Yes. And she'll lead, I believe it was Kiara who took her hand? She'll lead you up the stairs to your room. All of the doors have many, many locks. Bolts, key locks, chains, inside and outside as you go into your room.
On the outside of the door or inside?
Both.
I assume will be locked in. Is that right?
I think so, yes.
Now, do you know why that would be?
No?
Don't lie to us, Susie. My little brother always lies, and I could always tell.
And her brow furrows, but I'm not supposed to tell because I'll get everyone in trouble.
You won't get anyone in trouble. If you want, you can just whisper it in my ear.
Yeah, I'm not listening. See?
Nope, not listening. Nope.
No, I'll turn my back on her and no, I'm not going to say a word.
And just, she sort of looks over your shoulder and sees out the window as the sun finally begins to set. And she goes, "Oh no, there's no time. We have to lock you in now."
You can lock us in, just if you'd like to tell us why.
Well, I know that you're all not listening, but I'm still not sure because my mom said that I shouldn't tell anyone, and it's getting darker.
I look towards everyone else. Should we just let them? Or should we do something?
No, I think I feel best if we could lock ourselves in here.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it seems that they're trying to keep something outside, but also lock themselves in.
Fair enough. Thank you, Susie.
And as you say thank you, Susie, the sun finally sets and darkness falls across the sky. And that's when you hear the first scream. From outside, down the road, it is a blood-curdling scream of a man accompanied by what sounds like a primal roar.
I push aside Susie and run towards it.
Yeah, Rose runs towards the window and to see if she can see what's going on there.
So, as Kiara runs back onto the balcony and Rose runs to the window, you'll both see very similar things. The people who were milling about the streets, rushing to get back to their homes, are now twisting and contorting and changing, growing longer and shorter and clawed and not clawed. And then they just seem to be human again. The same in the bar as outside. Except they begin to attack each other.
So how long does it last? This sort of each phase of being monstrous and then
over in moments.
Okay. And is it always the same thing? Like everybody is either human or a monster, or is it different for everybody?
It's sort of different for everybody. They all flicker and change.
Yeah, you see Rose getting really pale and sort of reaching for her dagger. She's like, "My dad was right. Home is best. Home is best. I should never have left."
Oh, what's happening outside? What's going on?
Is Susie still in the room?
Susie is still with you. She begins to contort herself. Oh no! Rope! Perhaps you have rope!
One of us should have rope.
I do have, yeah.
I've got a rope.
Yeah, with shaking hands, Rose begins to go through the stuff in her backpack and then gets out the hempen rope, and then he's like, "What now? What now? What should we do?"
What about the door? What about the door?
Bring her
We
in.
lock
Lock the
ourselves
door.
in? Yes.
Lock ourselves in.
As you approach the door, whomever it is to close it, you see Cedric get to the top of the stairs with a wicked snarl upon his face. And he bolts towards your room. Can we all please have an initiative roll? Ah,
Not too bad. Not too bad.
I'll be right there. Whoops.
Yeah, Rose is positively not a happy camper right now.
I accidentally closed everything.
Oh no.
Yay!
Pro streamer. There we go. So, could you just type in your initiative rolls for me again? I trust you done the right thing. I just can't see it anymore. Oh, what should we go for? That'd probably be enough.
Oh.
Yeah, you're level 1. That'll be fine. Now, you don't need to worry about the name of this thing. This isn't depictive of what it is at all when I roll it, okay? You don't need to worry about that.
No.
I had my suspicions.
So,
Cedric was one of the people who was pinging as dead, undead, like.
I've got 12 for Sugi. I've got a 7 for Rose. Who am I missing? I'm missing Kiara.
Oh,
Could-
I rolled a 16.
16. Cool. So you'll be going first then, Kiara.
Seems as though it pinged, and my character doesn't know what it is. I'm going to immediately use my channel divinity to use Turn Undead and present my holy symbol at Cedric. I don't. It has to make a wisdom saving throw. Against 13, I believe.
Is that if it's undead or is that unconditional?
That is, if it is undead.
Then I'm afraid nothing happens.
Lovely. I use the rest of my movement to grab Susie and get into the room and try and close the door.
Okay, so you can rush into the room, but I think grabbing Susie will count as your action, and someone else will have to operate the door. Next up is Sugi.
Oh, Sugi sees and just lets out this little like shrill kobold scream and just shuts the door, and like she tries to lock a few of them, but a few of them are a little bit too tall, so she just locks up the bottom few and just kind of braces it with her tiny body.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now you've got Susie in the room. She is twisting and contorting and like writhing. Rose, it's your turn.
Oh boy. Rose really doesn't want to hurt the girl, so she is trying, sort of wildly hopping around the girl, trying to get the rope around her, and somehow just being really quick and nimble about it, and sort of maybe, you know, wrapping it around her enough so that she can pull it tight. And
Yeah, okay. This isn't an attack roll, is it? It'd be more of a press a sleight of hand or survival check. Maybe growing up on a farm, it'd be more survival. I don't know. You tell me.
yeah, or acrobatics. I don't know if that's only purely sort of jumping and stuff like that.
I suppose you could nimbly like tumble around her. You could do that.
Okay.
On a 15, you manage to securely tie her legs as you run around her. But her hands are still free, and she begins, as it is in fact her turn, to crawl towards and lash at anyone within range. Rose being on the other end of the rope, She will move towards you and
Yeah, Rose like, oh shit.
let's just modify that just a little bit. Just there we go. Does a 10 beat your armor class?
No. I'm just wondering, why do I have an armor class of 60? I thought it was 15. Anyway, not your problem. I'm going to double check something happened there. But no, that does not hit.
Next, Sugi, you feel a tremendous weight slam against the door. And you can hear almost like sounds from the other side.
Oh no. She screams, help, help.
Pippin.
I'll go to the door and help Siggy hold the door shut. Do we know if this where the key was at this time when we came in?
Since I don't think this is a check. Since Susie was leading you to your room to put you up for the night, you can safely assume that it's on her person.
Okay. Try and find the key, guys. We need it to lock this door properly.
There are bolts and chains on your side.
Oh, in that case.
Sugi's already started flipping some of them.
Oh, I'll carry on flipping the bolts and the chains.
Fantastic.
What else I can do on that?
Kiara.
Seems as though Pippin looks like he's got the door handled, him and Sugi. I'm going to cast level 1 Bane on Susie. And she has to make a charisma saving throw.
Cool. What are the effects of the spell?
If the target fails the spell, whenever they make an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, they must roll a d4 and subtract the number from their roll.
Fantastic. And that's wisdom?
Charisma.
Charisma. Much of a muchness for me. She fails.
Okay, perfect. So she gets a d4 subtracted to all saving throws and attack rolls for a minute.
Fantastic. She is still moving around at this point. Sugi.
Mm-hmm. Where is the rope still kind of being tied around her, or is it just kind of come undone at this point?
I mean, I'm holding on to it.
It's definitely still wrapped around her legs. She's just using her arms to maneuver around at the minute and hack at you.
All right, so Suki just sees that, Pippin's got the door taken care of, and she can't really bar it with very much. So she's gonna just try and kind of hold her down, and just kind of so she can be able to be tied up. To try and grapple her.
Okay, so make me an athletics check.
Cool. Oh boy,
Now, I subtract a d4 from this.
Yes.
It'll still be above 12.
It'll still be above my tiny.
Yeah,
cool.
so as you try and do this, she's just too much of a writhing mess.
That's it.
Rose.
So at this point, is the rope still around the legs?
Yes, the rope is still secured around the legs, and you've still got plenty of rope left as well.
That's good. Then she continues to hop around Susie and sees if at least she can, probably not both arms because she's flailing around, but she's focusing just on one arm and, tries to wrap the rest of the rope around it and sort of maybe see if she can pin it to the body.
Yeah, sure. Give me another acrobatics check. Oof. On a 21, you manage to sort of lasso around her shoulders, and it sort of slides down as she's thrashing, and you can in fact pin both arms to her chest. So you can in fact tie her completely, so she falls to the ground, writhing on the ground.
Yeah, she will do that, but Sugi being there, also ready to hold her down, and then sort of. And so she continues to switch back and forth between human form and, or is she just?
She's just human now. So like the flickering between monster and human only happened for a few moments, and then they stayed human, but they're not there.
Gotcha.
So you've pinned her arms. She's tied up. She continues to flail around at you, but tied as she is, there is nothing she can do at the moment. However, Pippin, the door shakes with tremendous force. Dust rattles from the wall around it as this creature on the other side. And if you listen, you can now hear a second creature as well, pouring at the outside, attracted to the noise. And you can hear the sounds of like thumping as though they are trying to punch through the panels. And outside
the door or the wall?
The door.
Okay.
It's only a wooden door at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And all of you will hear from outside another curdling sort of ah! And a sort of noise. And if any of you would like to care to look out the window, you will see a fairly gory sight. There is a man on the floor laying in a pool of his own blood. Above him stands a woman holding a red lump in her hand, dripping blood down her arm and body, ruining her dress.
Rose fortunately does not see that. She continues to sort of half sit, lean on the girl, trying to keep her down.
I don't think we should stay here we need to get out of here, like, now.
Where are we going? Where can we go? Outside seems just as bad as in here.
I don't think we want to go out there. We might want to stay in here, fortify this room as much as possible to stop anyone getting in here.
Maybe we could start putting things in front of the door.
Yes.
It's a good idea. Is the beds, possibly lift them and put them in place there. We need to worry about Susan, because obviously she's one of them, and there's possibility, don't let her bite you, don't let her scram you.
Is there a way that we can stop her from making sound? It might be attracting them.
Sugi just holds up her shield and just kind of like, she looks at you guys. It's kind of like, should I?
Don't hit a little girl.
She's the same size as me.
That before we do that, and I think Rose might, I have. We can use my second shirt. I have another shirt in my backpack. We could just gag her. You're really strong, Sugi. I'm just a little bit worried that if you hit her, it might be a little bit of an overkill. I mean, she's technically kind of dead already, sort of. We don't know, but
I look at Kiara. It's like, she won't die, will if I hit her, right? You can bring her back, right?
I mean, I could bring her back, but I'd rather not have to go to such lengths.
Oh.
Killing little girls that are cursed does not sound like a part of
I'm
my
against killing the little
regular
girl.
day-to-day
Also, what's going on at
job.
the door?
Yeah, the door is bad.
I have a a silver signet ring I wear. Could we perhaps wonder if we could? I'm afraid
I don't think you get to the ring part.
Oh no.
The bottom two panels of the door fly inwards, and the snarling, contorted face of Cedric, his arm caught on the barrier between the two panels, by the shoulder is sort of like trying to get in, clawing at the floor, looking up at you, and clawing towards you. There are other people on top of him clawing into his back and shoulders with abandon, drawing blood, trying to also get into the room at you.
Rose gets off of Susie and grabs her hand crossbow. Are we still in combat order?
I think if we're going back into combat, we'll go back into the same order as before, and we left it at Pippin's turn.
I'm going to draw my rapier, prepare myself, step away from these panels that have been pushed through, and see if any of these creatures get in through the door. That's where I'm going to go. I step back from the door and prepare myself to fight.
So if we're going to take a moment before the fight begins out proper, then the rest of you can also have a moment to react in a similar way. I know Rose went to grab her crossbow. Sugi and Kiara, is there anything you guys would like to do to prepare?
Take out her shield and short sword. Just kind of get ready.
Has anyone taken damage? Nope. Shoot. All right. I will just ready my weapon and my shield.
So, as Cedric is trying to get his way into the room, you will see him be grabbed by a much larger paw that draws him back. A hand almost clawed, not clawed, definitely not clawed, but it seems to be clawed the way that it pierces the flesh around his neck and just tears his gizzard out. And then his body is just dragged away as they move further into the room, and these multitude of people begin bashing against the door, trying to break that central reservation. Unfortunately, between 4 of them, they can't get through it. But yeah, they're meaning business. They're not.
I think we should go out the window. This is a death
But there
sentence.
will be a lot of them outside.
Yes, but there's a lot of them on the other side of that door, and it's not going to hold much longer.
Yes, window.
Out of character, where on what floor are we?
At first level.
Oh
Okay.
no.
There's also the fact that the town gates will be closed and locked. So
Yeah.
we've got to then negotiate those. So I don't fancy running around a town all night.
Well, they did load a cart for us. If we can get a door open, we should be able to outrun them.
And then we are in open ground with them chasing us.
Sugi's just
it's better
screaming.
being chased on a cart than being trapped in a room with however many are bashing at the door.
The room is defensible.
I mean, the door's already half gone, my friend.
Are any of you checking the windows at all, or is your focus on the door?
I've been looking at the window, basically telling them to go out. Weird.
Yeah,
But
Sugi
then so you saw, then Kiara would have seen the whole, woman holding the heart of that guy in her hand.
She also would have seen that figure head towards the inn, to the only light source in the village at the moment, because none of the lights in the road have been lit up. There are no lights on in any of the houses. There's only the light that you guys see by, as Susie has lit you a small oil lamp, and you will hear clawing Kiara as she is coming up the side of the wall.
Can I toss the oil lamp at the hole in the door?
Certainly.
Wonderful. I'm gonna do that. Do I need a dexterity?
Yeah, make me improvised weapon attack roll, ranged.
What would that be? Just a D20?
Yeah, give me a d20 plus your dex, that'll do.
I don't have any decks, so.
Oh no.
Lovely.
So on an 8, the lamp doesn't hit the figure through the door. It lands just in front of him, and the oil spreads across the floor in front of it, and soon there is a small fire by the door as the wooden floor begins to blacken and burn.
What do these creatures do? Are they fine with the fire?
They do not react to the fire the same way they did not react to the turn undead. They, at first, he'd sort of like his hands through and it catches fire and he's like.
Okay, so it does hurt them. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it hurts them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least that.
What shall I do? Okay, so as this oil is spread out everywhere, Susie's pretty close to the fire at the minute.
Is she walking towards it or just?
Oh no, just where she's been tied up.
Oh no.
She's on the floor, quite near the fire, as it slowly spreads.
And
yeah. Go ahead.
we've tied up both her arms and legs now.
Yeah, she's a package.
Okay. We should take her with us. I mean,
Yeah, Rose would, if she sees that the fire's spreading, she would go and sort of holding a crossbow in one hand and trying to pull Susie with her.
lovely.
Scrat.
Yes.
Are there any children in this for this mob outside?
Outside, yes, you can see children as well as adults.
Oh, okay, right, okay. I was just wondering if this Susie was a precious person in the community.
She's a
As in
child,
the only
Pippin.
child.
How can you say
No,
such
I
a
mean-
thing?
Oh, they're all children. She's dispensable.
You know, if she could be the only child in the community. That's why. What I was thinking.
So the whole time they've been trying to claw through that, right? Because Rose wouldn't just have watched that happening. At some point, if nobody would have started hacking and slashing, she would have fired off her crossbow.
Okay, so as they begin to break through the door with those rolls, and you hear the tinkle of glass behind you and a hand coming through the window behind you, we'll go back into attack combat order, and then you guys, if you wouldn't have attacked yet, just say pass, and we'll get to Rose's go that way. So Kiara.
I'm gonna look at them and just say go.
Go.
Out the window. Go. I'm gonna
Yes.
run and I'm gonna take my shield and I'm gonna jump through the window with my shield breaking the glass and try to hit whatever, almost like a bludgeoning cannonball.
I'll take an athletics check.
Oh, please.
Oh my god.
Please.
Do you know
Still
what?
Great.
It's not your finest dive. You get through the window, but it's less of a heroic dive and more of a trip on a windowsill, fall into the arms of this creature, and fall to the ground with the shield between you.
Good enough for me. I'm gonna use whatever movement I have to get up and basically yell. All right, we're going.
Are you moving away from her at all?
No, I've just gotten up.
Okay. Perfect. So next up is Suki.
Yeah, Suki just kind of froze up for a second because it's the way that this is. It's she has memories of townspeople trying to smoke out kobold-borns, and just she's freaking out. So she just runs away from it toward the window and just is just screaming and just jumps through it.
Jumps through. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Could you make me an athletics or acrobatics check for your landing?
Okay, this could not be my finest. Oh wow.
Oh, okay. Wow. So
Double flip.
Yeah, you do the full land, roll, stand. Yeah, like anything you like. Anything you like.
It's instinct, yeah. It's just like instinct is making me go fast.
So what you can see as you land unentangled that Kiara could not is that there are still many of these creatures fighting on the street.
Okay. She is going to just stand there and just kind of like ready in action in case like one comes after her, just like getting ready to attack if something comes in range.
Okay, so if something comes towards you, attack.
Mhm.
Yep, no problem. Yep. Rose.
Yeah, Rose definitely shoots at whatever is closest, whatever is trying to come through the door with her crossbow.
Of course, yep.
Let's see.
Funk, the arrow flies into the doorframe.
Well, at least I'm not hitting Pippin.
And
well,
sorry, carry on.
And well, as first Kiara jumps out, and then Sugi. He's like, oh, shit. Can you grab the girl? I'm going after the others, and I don't know if I can make that part of my movement to also try and jump out of the window, or if I just can hop up onto the windowsill and then maybe jump out the next time.
For the sake of keeping the party together, why don't we say that the attack was like a bonus action or something? Like hand crossbows are a light weapon, so we'll let that go, and you can jump out the window.
Alrighty. So, what did you have the others roll for the jump out of the window again?
Acrobatics or athletics? So, superhero landing or dramatic roll? Yeah, that's good enough. It's a little sloppy. Sloppier than Sugi. Sugi, if you're marking, you may hold up scorecards. But it's a little sloppier, but you land without taking any damage.
Cool. Yeah, so getting up and crossbow ready.
So before we get to Pippin's turn, Susie is basically doing the worm towards you, like snarling and like chewing at the shirt that's been put in her mouth, like. The other people, they are still people essentially, managed to break through the door, and they're sort of like stopped by the fire, and they're fighting and infighting on the hallway. They don't actually enter the room. They are stopped by the fire, but they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, I get a picture. Yeah.
And on the road, you see several different people fighting. There are all sorts of deaths occurring on the street right now. The stronger creatures, the blacksmiths, the farm workers are making light work of those who look a bit more blue collar. The pen pushers are suffering at this. The merchant, Cedric, there's a reason he didn't stand a chance. And also the children are being mercilessly slaughtered. And we will go to Pippin's turn.
Say that.
Okay. I'll pick up Susie. I'll head for the window and try not to roll a 1. After last time. Right. Acrobatics check.
Yeah, yes please. Or athletics. If you want to try for a superhero landing, you can.
No, it's not superhero landing.
On an 8. You slightly twist your ankle in your landing, taking 3 points of damage.
Okay, I can live with that. Right, do I keep hold of Susie when I land on the floor?
She will land next to you as you drop her in your descent, but she doesn't show any signs of damage.
Okay. Which do we have a cart set up for us outside the tavern, or didn't they have time to get that sorted out?
They said we'll be outside, but I'm not sure if that's our highest priority right now. By the
Oh,
way, where
I
we
was
all
thinking-
ended.
I was just thinking where we were in respect to possibly a vehicle out of you.
There was one at the front of the tavern, if I do remember correctly.
Yeah, at least he said that they had prepared a, but we don't know. By the way, where we all end up after jumping down, do we have clear sight onto the street? Because if so, Rose would immediately have gone and tried to find some cover, bushes, boxes.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
you're very much in full view of the street. The nearest cover is, in fact, the cart of supplies that Cedric left you earlier. Now, there are no lights out tonight. No one's lit any of the gas lamps or any of the rest of it. So, who has night vision, dark vision?
Sugi's dark vision.
I'm human, I've got nothing.
Sugi,
The halfling, I don't know.
Oh,
you
no.
can see the full gory detail of everything going on around you. The rest of you cannot. It is dark.
Oh no! You just see like just these horrific like reactions from Sugi as she's just standing there, just like looking. It's like, oh no, this is. Ah.
So.
Yeah, Rose would say, I have a lantern, but I'm not sure
No,
if it
no,
would
no.
be a good idea to.
She's like,
So,
no,
like-
no, no.
Yeah,
can see-
she clutching on to, might be Kiara's leg, might be Pippin's leg. Who knows? Pippin's
Well,
leg.
if you go to clutch onto Kiara fell with someone, and
Shoot.
Oh no!
after Pippin, it is Kiara's go.
Oh god.
Oh no!
Did they take any damage, perhaps?
Difficult to say. These,
Uh,
as you've been observing them, these creatures don't seem to react to damage at all. They react to death, is in that they stop moving, but otherwise they are just driven crazy with bloodlust, I guess.
Is Susie in arm's reach?
Susie is, yeah. She landed nearby.
I'm gonna put my mace away and like try and grab her and throw her over my shoulder.
You will invite an opportunity attack.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Miss.
Okay.
So luckily, there's no more reactions.
Good.
All right, I got her over my shoulder, and I think we should really start moving.
But wait. As you grab Susie, and Susie also moves away,
Oh no!
the creature grabs her leg and begins pulling her away from you. You can, Sugi, with your dark vision, you can see you can see blood blooming from Susie's leg.
I cast
Just-
Toll of the Dead.
How does Toll of the Dead work? Isn't it after an attack's been made and it makes additional damage?
No.
If it is already taken damage, it takes a higher dice roll worth of damage.
Ah, okay, got it.
8, and it's a D12 if it's already taken damage. That's why I asked. So, it has to make a wisdom saving throw. It does not pass unless it has advantage.
It does not.
So it would take 4 if it was not injured and 7 if it was.
So as it recoils away from you but doesn't let go of Susie, please make me a athletics check to try and keep hold of her. You do. You manage to keep hold of Susie. This woman also has hold of her. And Sugi, now you can see you're drawing attention from the street.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your turn.
And they've seen us, right? They've all seen.
Not all, but maybe 3 or 4 on the edges are starting to see what's going on over here and starting to lope towards you all.
So she just kind of just yells out like, "We have to go!" It's like, and then just kind of like she's actually just going to attack that the old like the woman creature, whatever it is that's grabbing Susie, because it seems like we want to take her with us. So I'm just gonna try and like lunge at it with my short sword.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. 14. Wait, it's dark, right?
It is dark, yes.
And is Kiara, is she within 5 feet of it?
Yeah, I'd say so. Kiara and Susie, Susie's probably not even 5 foot tall, so yes.
All right, so I have advantage. That's a 21.
That is a hit.
All right. 10 slashing. Yes.
With your 10 slashing damage, the creature is slain. Would you like to describe your kill?
Sugi just kind of like gets in the kind of like it's accidental almost. Like she kind of like holds her like she kind of gets in front, holds her dagger out. The thing like lunges out, and she just kind of hits it in the right spot, and it just kind of like slumps.
Yeah, so it forces itself onto your blade, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens, and the creature is slain.
And then yeah. Can I still see where the card is?
You can.
They can still like there's still enough light where they can see me, right? Or like the rest of my party can see me. And I'll point to it. It's like we have to go. It's right over there. So I can see it.
Yeah, I think you guys could probably make out what Sugi's trying to say. Especially as she starts moving towards it, still shouting. You can certainly follow her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna follow, and when I'm almost dead to reach, I'm gonna cast Spare the Dying on the slain. So it's at 0 HP and still knocked out, but it's alive.
You're so nice.
You're so nice. Sugi's operating on instinct at this point.
So, as you guys make your way over to the cart, please, Sugi, you will turn and just about see 3 of these creatures lumbering towards you, diving through the air as we get to the end of your turn. Rose, Kiara, and Pippin, could you please start your turns by making a dex save? And we'll go with Rose first. The creature flies into you.
Oh my god.
You're wearing effing armor. How are you so dexterous?
So, Rose, the creature flies into you, pulling you from the cart to the ground, and the same will be said of Pippin.
Ouch.
It is your turn, Rose.
Do I suffer any bludgeoning damage? Like if it's a full-grown person thing?
Not unless you want to.
I mean, I don't want to, but I'm small.
Oh, that's right. Oh.
No,
yeah.
it's more tearing at you, pulling you down from the cart. So
Okay.
it's more ripped clothes, maybe slight abrasions of the skin, but other than that,
Okay.
you're okay.
So I'm trying to wriggle free and sort of wriggle underneath out from underneath of it and reach for one of my daggers while I do that, just instinctively ram it into shoulder, whatever I can reach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh man, she's just no. That is not.
As you fumble for your dagger, the creature attacks you. Does an 18 hit you? It claws at you, doing 4 slashing damage, and as it grips hold of your wrist, it lunges in to bite.
Yep.
You don't need to worry about the saving throw. But you've taken 9 damage altogether.
Yeah, so you would hear her, like, when she's attacked with the claws, she shrieks, but then as that is followed up by the bite attack, you just hear a shocked grasp, and she's just lying there, heavily bleeding, with her eyes wide open, but barely moving.
Is she down?
Nope.
Whew.
Oh my. Ooh, wow.
Pippin, similarly for you, the wolf that attacks... the person that attacks you... oh, sorry, I've gone straight in with the bite. Sorry, my bad. A 6 doesn't hit you, so there is no bite. But it's attacking at you similarly to the way it is Rose, and it is your turn, Pippin. Tony?
Oh, you're quiet.
Muted, maybe?
No, he's just really quiet.
There we go.
Yeah. Better.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
There.
Sorry. I've still got the rapier in my hand, so I'll go for an immediate attack, and I'll also pull out my short sword as well, and well, dual weapon attacks later. So if I survive. Oh yes.
That's a hit.
And
9 piercing damage severely wounds this creature.
okay. Do I have another attack?
Yeah, you can make as long as, short sword's a light weapon, so you can make a bonus attack with it. You just don't add your ability modifier to the damage.
Oh, right, okay.
That will hit.
Nice.
That's a 4.
That is a 1, unfortunately, because you don't add the dex. But
Oh, sorry, yes, you're right.
But a 1 is a clumsy kill.
Okay.
Would you like to describe that for us? You can describe how you rapier and short sword and take this creature out.
Well, I lunge forward and stab the rapier into him, at the same time pulling my short sword out with a sort of a slashing attack, and just clipped him as the last as the sword came out from the scabbard.
So the way I'm picturing it is, as the rapier pierces the chest, the creature begins to cry out loudly, and as it does so, I guess you take your short sword to silence it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I just pull out my short sword, swing across, and probably just clip her across the neck for the final point.
On to Kiara then.
And
oh gosh, we still have 2 more that had lunged at us, correct?
2. Yeah, there are 2 more. Yes, one is standing square to you as you. You held your shield in just the right place, luckily in the darkness, as it attacked you, and you just buffered it back. So you are in close quarters with one that is snarling and attacking at you. In fact, I was doing that at the start of turns, wasn't I? So, does a 9 hit you?
No.
No. So it's still clawing at your shield, and there is another one standing over Rose, who's you've recently heard making uncomfortable noises.
Is Rose close to me? 5 feet?
Oh yeah, you're all in close proximity around the cart.
Then I use Cure Wounds for 7 healing.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to spare the dying again on and the rest of my movement to follow. Oh, Sugi's in combat. Never mind. I'm staying. I'm here. We're good.
Sugi.
Just defending.
Yes, Suki just sees everything that's happening, like in just crystal clarity, just the horror around her. So she just sees like Rose get like kind of knocked down by the larger human, and just like she'll try and just like try and just get it off her, like just by kind of like jumping on his back and kind of like stab at it. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
Ooh.
Why? Wow. She just. Dang.
It's
Wow.
it's enough. It's enough. It's a jumping kill.
Yep. So yeah, this not just kind of he just jumps on its back and just kind of stabs at it until it kind of like falls over next to Rose.
And so and as you're stabbing at it, it's sort of like "Ah! Ah! Ah! Ah!" And as you look up, once it finally lays still, you can see what's the correct term? Not quite a horde, but not a small party. A gathering of these people sort of stalking this way towards the party, ears cocked.
Would Rose see that as well?
It depends on if she has dark vision.
No, then no.
Yeah, so for Suki, it would just be instinct. She would just freeze, just kind of like just stand and just kind of like stare at it and just like not move. And I think the group would probably understand, like anyone that's close enough to like see her would know what's happening. Like she's just trying to hide, just like when there's no place to hide, just trying to stand still.
And so we go across to Rose. It's your turn with that information.
So as she, she was just lying there, sort of almost choking, or not almost choking on her own blood, and then suddenly she has this cleric energy magic flowing through her, and she's like, and then Sugi takes care of that thing, and she's like, thank you, but then Sugi freezes, and she's like, there are more coming. There are more coming.
Lots.
So are we? Is it so the way I see it at the moment, I might be wrong, it's like the other creatures, the cart, and we're sort of behind it, next to it?
Next to it. You're sort of next to the cart, so as you were clambering into the driver's seat of the cart, the four of you, these creatures have knocked you over to the side.
Okay.
Two of them are down, one stands square with Kiara, and Sugi has gone stock still as though she's seen something terrifying heading this way, which can only mean one thing.
Okay, so Rose looks at everybody really panic-stricken at this point. What should we do? And then she readies, I'm going to hold an action with her crossbow until she can make out something.
So if something approaches...
Yeah.
Fantastic. So as it's my turn, first of all, Kiara.
Oh no.
11.
Forgot about that one. Oh shoot, there's one still alive.
Also, you will see from the flaming building now, a mass of flame fall from the window and land on the floor, and this fiery burnt creature just stands up.
Hey, can we see now?
Illuminating the scene, and it's like lighting a match in like The Walking Dead or something, and there's zombies everywhere. There's creatures all across the road. They're not thickly gathered, but they are spread out. There's probably at least 20, 25 of them, and they're all slowly heading your way. Pippin!
No.
Pippin, we can't hear you again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Oh, took a while. Okay. Right. There's no creatures on the cart anymore, is it? That we killed all those.
There's only one with Kiara on the ground next to the cart.
I'll go and what is it? Still fighting, is it?
Yes. Yeah, it was literally just clawing at her shield.
I'll go up to it and attack with a rapier.
A 17 hits.
Yes. 7 points of damage.
It's a strong hit, but it's not a kill.
Do I have the bonus action with my short sword?
Oh yes, every turn you wish to take it. That's a hit as well.
Oh, brilliant. And that's an 8. Oh no, that's a 5.
That is a brutal kill.
No.
Brilliant. Excellent.
You can describe it out for us if you want. If you want to, if that's what you want to do, or you can just sort of business-like do it and move on.
Yeah, just move on. I'm not going to waste time. Not waste time on these things. It's going to be a quick kill or nothing.
So with killing that one that is within range, the rest are stalking towards you, but they're not like rushing you yet. So it'll bring us out of combat for a moment.
We in the cart. Now,
Cart.
I run up to the cart and put Susie in the back.
She is wriggling. She is now wet with blood as you carry her.
So there is a horse in front of the cart? A live horse?
There is a horse in front of the cart, yeah.
Like, is it
Where?
still alive, or has it been sort of... like, I'd be just surprised if that horse was the only thing pristine on the, on the street.
The horse is very nervous.
Oh, I can, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. As long as
Rose
the horse.
feels that
The
horse.
feeling's mutual.
It's a well trained horse. It's not running, but it is starting to sidestep, especially with the creatures attacking around it, and it's sort of wild-eyed.
I mean, as long as it's not convulsing and getting angry at us, so that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, Rose would definitely have experience with that sort of, you know, steering a horse cart and just dealing with animals. So she would clamber up that driver's seat pretty fast.
So what's the plan of action? Run them down? They stand between you and the gate.
Kind of have to.
Can I assist the animal handling?
Yeah, Rose is still like she's a little bit less panicky, but still like, what should we do? What should we do? What should we do?
Can we see the gate from here?
Yes, you can.
Or can I see? I'll point them out where the gate is. It's like, we need to go that way.
It is currently closed.
How high is the gate?
Yeah.
About 10 feet.
Okay. I mean, we could get the wagon closer and then just jump it.
At least try to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just reminded that once we get away from the burning, can we take the burning body with us? Because once we get away from that, I won't be able to see anything again.
I can cast light.
Oh, awesome.
I was actually gonna use it to try and clear people out to see if they can go to that instead. But
yeah, so basically Rose is ready, but she's just not in a decision-making moment right now. So whatever order she gets, she will do it.
Yeah, that's what Sugi would Sugi just screaming, to the gate, and just pointing, just hurriedly. Like, it's not a good plan, but this is all she has.
I am gonna cast the light cantrip to the side of the road that leads out and see if I can attract them away from the road.
So as this light, which seems blinding in the darkness, explodes into your eyes. Anyone who did, I imagine Kiara would have closed their eyes ready, but anyone who wasn't quite ready will be blinded for just a moment by the lights. But by the time your vision returns, you can see the creatures are all moving towards this light, including the burning one, and the path to the gate is relatively clear. There's maybe one or two in the way.
Off we go.
Yeah, go.
I don't know if you want me to roll animal handling.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Can I assist? Is that I have +3?
Why not? We can make it with advantage, Rose.
17.
Good enough. You steer the horse around the remaining creatures and approach the gate. There is no guards here. There is a simple bar on the inside of the gate.
Jump down from the cart and go and see if I can lift the bar on the gate.
I'll go
Suki
help.
would try to steer the horse in a way so that the cart is right next to the gate, depending on I guess I would remember if it opens like inside or sort of outwards, or is it a sort of, does it open either way?
It'll open.
Because it would be pretty stupid if I parked the cart right in front of it.
It would open inwards, and there's enough room for Pippin to jump down, lift it, and you guys can. You will have remembered and thought that out well enough for that to go smoothly. Do you leave the gate open?
Just push it to for the moment to give us a bit of time.
Weren't there also locks or something like that from the outside? No, wait, that wouldn't make sense.
I believe there was a key lock on the outside. Is that not?
Just a simple bar on this gate. The rest of the gates on the fences on the inside had locks and bolts, and the doors did, but the main gate, it literally once closed looks like part of the fence.
Okay.
Is there like handles on the door?
There's like ropes tied through it that you can pull it with. It's just like a knotted rope that is on a hole in the door, so whichever way you pull it from, it pulls through and goes tight. Do you know what? For the sake of things, they can be long enough for you to tie together if you like, or if you have some extra rope, you could tie them together.
I've got two sets of climbing equipment in my rucksack. With that, it comes with a grappling hook, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
So I could outside situation of put the grappling hooks into the soil as firmly as possible, and then tie the door shut from there. So at least we've got some way of stopping the doors from opening.
And while he is doing that, so seeing how these creatures are attracted to light, Rosewood sort of very quickly improvise, sort of take a piece of clothing, wrap it around 2 bolts of her crossbow, and use her tinderbox to light it on fire and just shoot it over the wall, sort of in 2 directions. Sort of more high than far, so that it lands not too far away, but so hopefully that the creatures go after those 2 light sources. And I mean, it's a very small piece, so it might not even catch fire, but she would want to try that.
Okay, so you will fire them over the wall, but at the moment there's no way to see what happens with them. However, by the time you have moved away and start up the hill, looking behind you, you can see a great blaze across the warehouses that you saw earlier, full of grain.
Out of character, I think we've taken care of the problem. Just burn everything down. Yeah, in character, Rose is messed up, and actually, once we stop for the first time, she just leans over the cart and barfs. Whatever she has left of, in her stomach of the stew, it just
I'll just
goes out
rub
into
her
the wild.
back and
Sugi is the opposite. She's just like stress eating whatever stuff is in the cart at this point.
I kind of want to test something, but it's a little bit gruesome. The people I killed.
I mean, out of character, I'm fine. Rose wouldn't be, but
I'm thinking that death might break that curse, and we have someone who would be able to test that, and I can bring them back.
Is Susie still with us? Did we actually manage to take her?
Still with us.
Yeah.
It might be valuable information as much as I hate the thought of it.
I mean, if it breaks the curse, then she can come back.
Bringing her...
Take her to the next town and hand her into the sheriff of the town. Explain what we've seen, and let the authorities deal with it. Do we want to get involved with this?
The authorities will just come in and kill them all. But if this works, then it can be dealt with without them all dying.
Don't they still have to die then? I mean, isn't that what you're saying?
Yes, but I mean, they have to die, but they don't have to be dead all, like, forever. They can be saved.
I guess it'd be better than permanently dying. Yes.
But the only way I can test that now is with Susie. But I won't do that if you're uncomfortable with it.
I mean, if you really think that this could help, honestly, I think that anything might be better than the state they're currently in.
Suki?
Yeah. I think if there's a way to get this whatever's happening to her off. Should
Pippin?
try it.
Soul type of thing.
More or less, yes.
I see. Then I agree. We should at least try.
Alright. I'm gonna cast Toll of the Dead on Susie. And I believe she is not only prone, but she's bound and tied, so I don't think she even gets... She gets a wisdom save still?
No save, and she's been damaged.
7 damage.
With your 7 damage, it's not quite enough to kill her. She flickers and feebles. Where she was wriggling around on the back of the bed, she now sort of is like limply twitching.
I get to use it again in 6 seconds, so...
Okay,
Just use it
so
again.
when you use it again, she does indeed go still.
Okay. I immediately cast Spare the Dying, and then use my medicine kit to try and bring her back to health. So she's at 0, and then I get 1d6 plus 4 hit points if I use a healer's kit.
Okay.
It's 10 to the... 1d... 7.
So as you patch up the wounds that Toll the Dead make, whatever they are,
Oh, plus the creature's maximum number of hit dice gets added to that for HP.
cool.
If she has it.
Yeah, she'll be fine. And as you like do the last thing, which is to put like smelling salts by the nose or whatever it is to wake them up, immediately, and several things happen. First of all, it's been a very long night and a lot's happened. A lot longer than you realise, in fact, as the sun begins to rise again. Could you all please take a second level of exhaustion as you have not slept?
Oh, the hated sun.
And as the sun begins to rise, Susie fades from your vision. She disappears.
What? Sugi just looks confused. Like,
Rhodes blinks her eyes. She just looks at everybody else. We didn't just dream it, didn't we?
still awake and go to sleep. What?
As the sun begins to rise further into the sky, you can see the people down in this town rushing to fight the fires in the warehouses.
Oh no. Oh no.
What Rose would also do, because she wasn't fully healed, she would take a look if sort of there's still a remnant of the claw and bite wounds from that creature thing on her.
There is.
Or if that there is, okay.
They have remained.
Sort of does it seem like it's kind of healing a little bit? Sort of, is it still bleeding? Does it look weird in any way? Does it sprout hair?
It looks just like a normal scratch and bite from another human.
Huh. Okay. It just sits down, so thumbs down.
Do we want to take turns resting while we pass to the next town?
Yep.
We need to sleep. I can barely keep my eyes open anymore.
I mean, we are safe for a little while.
Should
Do
have
we
some
wanna
food.
Away from...
So he's still eating.
Mhm.
So where we are right now, is it open road or
I figured you were just running, so you've sort of gone into the not directly on the road, but just to the side of the road, maybe near the tree line.
Yeah, sounds good. So there's a forested area.
Looking back towards the town after, say, half an hour, the fires look a lot less. The gates open, and the town, from this distance, looks as it did at the very beginning, where it looks like a normal functioning town.
Should we go to the next town and ask? It's only 10 miles, well, less than 10 miles now. Perhaps we go to the next town and inquire of what this town is. They must know about this.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of Dodge, so to speak.
Strange
Okay.
that a main road still goes through a town like that. But I guess people who stay there don't really make it out very often.
Sugi's checking the wagon, make sure the wagon's still there. Like she's not imagining this weird like wagon.
Wagon's still there. It's full of grain, salted meat, cabbages. There's a cask of ale.
So, yeah, look at Kiara. You have experiences with things like that. So, they aren't ghosts, are they? I mean, the card is real, the food is real. You talk to them. Would I, as a halfling, are there maybe any type of folklore stories that would fit what we've heard, sort of living dead or something like that?
I suppose the closest thing is the sort of Barovian tales of werewolves and vampires, but everyone knows that's not real. Kiara, from your time in the war, you might remember fighting dark orcs and dark elves and other creatures with dark as a prefix. That every now and again, bubbles of evil would occur, where suddenly everyone's knives would fly out of their sheaths and try and attack each other, or images would step out of the mirror to try and attack the original owner and try and take their original form, and breaking the mirror would only make more images that all come out but smaller. Something is reminding you of these tales. You are muted, I think. Oh, there you go.
So it's like an enchanted item that I would figure that is doing this? Like a...
Possibly.
Or...
It was more a tale. You don't have any direct experience of it. It was more the weird things you heard old soldiers say.
I'm gonna kind of articulate that to the group. Like it could be just more or less. It's some sort of evil existence, or it seems to take over a place rather than a specific person.
But that's terrible if they have to go through that night after night. And Rose begins to just pull her cloak tied around her and yawns and is very close to just falling asleep.
Yeah, sleep for now. I think it's a good idea. We are all very exhausted.
Yes.
We can figure more things out, and I think making a decision at this point would not be in our best interest anyway.
Sounds good.
Also, who knows that we're not going to meet anything on the road to the other town? So for that case, I think we should be well rested.
I agree.
It could be a worse town next time. So yeah, rest now.
You shouldn't make jokes like that, Suki.
Or a joke.
I mean, that was.
Go skipping towards it.
Oh, shut up. And she she blushes furiously and just rolls over on his side and tries to get some sleep. Stop it!
Before sleeping, I'll just use my medicine kit on Rose to get whatever else
thank
is left of her wounds.
Yeah, I was just, I think, 2 points short.
Yeah, they'll clean up lovely, and as you do so, they're gonna scar, but they're clean. They're not hurting anymore. There's a slight scab. If you pick at it, you might maybe lose a health point, but other than that, that's why Mum says don't pick. Sorry. So as you sleep, do all of you sleep?
I
I hope not.
Rotate. If you rotate the shifts.
I'll take first watch because I'm probably used to not sleeping very much as a combat medic.
You are still within sight of the town, as much as the town's in sight of you.
Mm.
I mean, there was a line of trees, right? So perhaps, I don't know how dense or how close to each other the trees are, if you can get the cart in there, or tie the horse off and get the horse in there.
I mean, you can try and hide the cart, but I mean, it's a cart and a horse against the tree line. It's going to take some cunning camouflage.
Mm.
And you're all absolutely knackered and going to be and have disability on checks. So
Yeah. We should.
How about we just send off the horse? Yeah, actually, Rose says that. She's sort of not quite yet asleep. If we can't hide the cart, maybe we could just make the horse just continue, and we just find a place to stay where we can make camp.
Walk to the next town.
So as you send the horse back to town.
I thought the other way, but I mean.
Well, as you slap it, it will just turn
the
around
horse
and start.
Does what the horse. I was going to say the horse does what the horse.
Heading back to town.
Catch it before it gets away too far.
The idea is. Oh, sorry. So I thought we were just sending it away because he said that there was no way we could pull the cart into the forest, so we would definitely be seen from the city or from the town.
There should be still a path through the forest, I'd imagine, because that's the only way to get to the next town. That's kind of, I think.
Just stay on the road and head and just keep moving.
Yeah.
Whoever's in, the guys in the cart can rest in the cart, and then each, we take it in turns on watch and steer the horse and the cart.
So, okay, who will be the first to steer the cart?
I'll let everyone else sleep and I'll stay awake for a little while.
I can take. Sugi can take the ones that's closest to like nighttime because that's where she can see.
And thank you, the dragon, who donates 200 bits to give Rose a nat 20.
Oh, thank you.
If you could take a note of that, because my cat is currently laying on where I usually write down your nat 20s and stuff. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I wrote that down.
Evil kitty. So yeah, you will start heading off. Sorry, so Kiara, as you start driving, please make me an animal handling check.
Oh, cross your fingers.
Please.
Hey.
On a 17, you manage to keep the cart moving. You keep it on the road. You are dreary-eyed and sleepy. Please make me a Constitution save.
Oh.
On a 5, you begin to nod off in your seat.
Yeah, I do.
It's not in that one, so you have a choice. You realise that you are nodding off. You can either stop the cart, or try and wake someone else up, but it's only been about half an hour.
Are we out of sight? Like, can I see the...
You can still see the town behind you. It's distant. You probably get away with staying here.
All right, I'm gonna stop the cart.
And then you continue to take watch?
Yes, I will continue to sit and try and stay awake.
Do you use any tactics to try and stay awake? Do you have any games that you play or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely not. I have a journal that I write in, and I keep everything in there. I could try and write to stay awake and keep my brain occupied with things like that.
Certainly. Okay, so make me one last con save. 13 either way. You are bleary-eyed and sleepy, but you manage to just about stay awake until it's time for someone else to take watch. The rest of you, who do you choose to wake up?
Being that it seems probably around night. Well, is it around nighttime or is it?
Oh no, it's only been a couple of hours. It's enough time for maybe a short rest. Enough time to maybe reduce one level of exhaustion.
Okay, I will wake. I'll wake Pippin.
Okay.
How do you do so?
I'll just kind of shake him awake. Maybe give him a few slaps on the face and wake up now. It's all right.
What?
It's time to take watch.
Okay, fine. Oh, we don't move far then. Okay, I'll get up onto the boat. What do you call it? The front of the cart where you sit.
Yep, driver seat.
That's the one. And I'll slowly make headway.
Fantastic. Can I also have an animal handling check from you?
I'm gonna go pass out.
On a 6, the cart is all over the road. You are knocking, I suppose, perhaps maybe due to your tiredness, maybe a con save. You're sort of meandering side to side and clipping the like the undergrowth at the sides near the trees. You have a con save as well, Pippin? On an 11, though, you're pretty awake. You can manage this okay. If anything, the jostles into the side of the road, sort of like, and you sort of bring your course back straight. You can keep the cart moving for the next couple of hours or more if you choose to go more, but there will be more checks required. As you do so, you crest the hill so you can no longer see the town behind you.
I'll carry on going for a couple of hours and see where we are towards the next town.
Okay, so like you're gonna try and go for a 4-hour stint.
Yeah, go on. I'll try for 4 hours.
So I'll have another con save, please. On a 5, you face a similar problem to Kiara, that you're gonna fall asleep. You have choices. You can try and stop the cart, or
I'll pull the cart up and time to change over. So, Sugi or... Yeah, I guess Sugi. Wake her up. Get her awake and possibly drive the cart further. She's had a good stint of sleep now.
Yeah, so you will be, Sugi, on 4 hours sleep. I mean, Christ, IRL, I've been surviving on 4 hours sleep for about 2 years. That's plenty. You feel good enough.
Okay, yeah, she's...
So you wake up without exhaustion, and you can carry on.
All right, I'll try and lead this horse as well as I can. Kobold on a wagon. It's animal handling check.
Animal handling check.
So we just had a comment about Pippin being quiet again on the stream.
Yeah,
Was I very quiet again?
We could hear you, but I don't think stream could hear you so well.
Yeah.
Oh boy, let's go.
Okay.
That's all.
Oh boy.
On a 10, you can
I mean-
manage the horses well enough. For a kobold handling a very large amount of horses. Maybe you can't quite see over the rim, so you have to jump every now and again to get your bearings. But you make it okay.
The horse is probably a little scared, so scared of me.
Yeah, probably so. You see the next town come into vision as you come over the crest. You are rested enough to keep this going until you reach it, if you so desire, and let everyone else get a full rest.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try and see if I can keep this thing on the road, give them a little bit more sleep.
Yeah. Your 10 will carry along. You can carry on down the road, and soon you will pull up to this next town. Across the gate, it reads Tiddlesmere.
Okay, I'll kind of like squeakily like kind of shake each of them awake. Like, we're here. Hey, we made it. We made it next town. We're here.
And you hear her yawn and
I'm waking up.
We're not dead.
Is it a normal town?
I think so. It has a gate.
So
It's not on fire.
this gate is just literally 2 poles with a sign on it. It's more of a town sign and main entryway than an actual fenced gate sort of arrangement. The houses are ramshackly distributed, and they sort of look like a farming community, village community. There's a big square in the centre with a pole in the centre, perhaps being set up for a festival.
Oh,
Oh, this is
Well,
good.
that looks much better. I have a good feeling about this.
Yes.
Yes.
To be safe, do you think we should stay here, or do you think we should stay in our what we know is safe cart?
I should say we should we go to the sheriff and ask him if he knows about the town. Ask him if he knows about the problems in was it Rattlestown or whatever that town's name was.
We didn't quite know either. Something like that.
Rose looks at the sun to gauge how many hours we've got left till sundown.
Probably about 2 or 3.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we could at least take a quick peek, and if things do not look well here either, we can just leave.
yeah.
As you say this, you see a child chasing a hoop across a green.
And then being eaten
That
by a
sounds fine.
monster.
I'd never put something like that in a one-shot.
Well,
Sure. Well, we know some of the signs now. So, I mean, if things start looking dodgy, we can head out.
And we have our
Also,
food.
There's no fence around it or wall. So
They might be just less cautious. But yeah.
just
Is
thinking,
anyone else
we didn't.
continue?
I was just saying, just thinking, we didn't pay for these supplies.
Well, I mean,
Hey.
after everything we've been through, I think
Hey, I'm
those
just looking at the silver
supplies-
lining.
yes.
Yes. We're alive.
All right.
Food.
and Rose
yeah.
grabs some of the salted meat and just starts chomping on it.
Is anyone still tired?
Those of you who had to do stints of driving in the night will be a little tired, but I'd say all of you have removed your exhaustion, so it's more natural tiredness, sort of how my face probably looks than an actual exhausted person. Maybe some slight bags, but you guys are okay. As you approach the town, you can see a large man carrying a 80-litre keg on his broad arms. And he's sort of like walking and going...
Wow, all this gold is for me? Thank you, guys.
Thank you to Architect Origins, who donates for 1 nat 1. Where would you like this nat 1 to go? Or can I just have it at my disposal?
How far away? So are we walking or driving past this man?
So if you're just driving into town, you can drive nearby, and as you see him, he'll sort of like take one hand off the barrel for a second and sort of like wave and then grab it again. Morning!
Yeah, Rose gives him a once over to see if she sees anything that looks weird about him. Any twitches.
So as you scrutinize him, please make me an insight check. And remember, you have a nat 20.
Hashtag things the DM says.
I have a nat 20.
Yeah, how much time do we have left?
We've got about another 25 minutes.
I'm not gonna use it. If we run just in the next disaster, so be it. Inside 16.
On a 16, he seems a genuine guy. He's laughing. He's got no rips or tears in his clothes. He's not wearing a shirt, but it's hot today, and you know he's carrying a heavy thing, so he's glistening with sweat. He looks like a normal sort of guy. He's got blonde hair that's been sort of like brushed back. It's quite long, but not massively long. Just slightly greasy.
Fabio.
Well, he looks okay, but maybe we should, watch out for weirdly ripped clothing, just in case.
Good morning! Can I help you folk?
Not again.
Hello, my good man. Could you direct us to the nearest tavern, please?
Tavern? What do you want to go to a tavern for today? It's the spring festival. Follow the keg. And
I'm gonna use my eyes of the grave and see if anything pinks.
So little trust right now.
So happy.
So, using your eyes of the dead, this person is alive.
Oh, thank God.
Looking at the sort of like the way that the city or this town is structured and the way the buildings look, do we see any parallels between this town and like does it seem to be, architecture wise, does it seem to be a similarly fashioned town?
I suppose some of the older buildings look very similar, but the newer buildings look much shinier, neater, straighter, where the other town had sort of like buildings that sort of leaned or weren't very well maintained, or maybe the wood was getting old. Some of the older houses in this town look like that, but for the majority, it's looking much newer, well maintained, nicer, similar style, but nicer.
Okay.
Think
And so
that's-
there's people in the town as we get into town.
Yeah, there are children laughing as you round a corner. You can see that one section of the square, which you couldn't see from the road, there's kegs being lined up. There are tables laid out. There are dancers getting ready to go and dance around the pole, and there are children playing.
Rose calls over one of the children. Just, hey, you there. Hey, could I talk to you for a moment?
And the villagers sort of like
leaning over.
eye you for a second.
I'm just a little hobbit. By the way, Rose has red curls and a lot of freckles, and she's super cute and trustworthy.
And a small boy runs up and says, "Hello."
Hey, I have just two quick questions. What are you celebrating today? It looks really fun. What's going on?
It's the spring festival when we celebrate all the flowers blooming and the crop being sown.
Oh, that's amazing. We had something very similar where I'm coming from. Okay, second question. It's not going to take long. What do you do before you go to bed? Do you guys have any special things, like things you always do, you know, that you would do with your parents?
Yep.
What would that be?
Well, first I get changed into my pajamas, and then I have to brush my teeth, and then Mummy comes and reads me a story, and then I don't remember what comes. I think I must be in bed after that.
Brushing teeth really sucks, doesn't it? But thank you for helping me out.
Your
just
teeth
fish
will
in-
rot with that attitude. That's what Mummy says.
That's what my mom also always said. And I fish into my pocket and I just have some marbles and I just pass them 2-3 marbles. This is a thank you. Little thank you.
Oh, marbles!
I think we're in the clear.
I think so too. I did the thing that I did back in the other place, and they're all alive. Well, the ones that were near us,
So it's fine. It's fine.
as far as I can tell.
Good.
I think we should talk to people though. I mean, I know they have this festival today, but isn't it weird that you have this really dark, creepy town not that far away from your own home? And you know, they just pretend like nothing bad is out there.
Do you say this to one of the villagers, or are you just talking amongst yourselves?
Sorry, I muted myself. I said that to everybody in the party as once the boy has gone off.
I think that talking to the townspeople about it would not be the right thing to do. Maybe find a church or military or.
Is there a town mayor?
So in charge. Someone that's official.
Yeah.
Well, as this large man puts the keg down on the table and taps it, he then goes to stand on the table and goes, people of Tiddlesmere, spring has come again! And begins to give a speech about harvests and planting seeds, and he would look to be...
He looks like someone in authority.
Yes.
I'll wait for him to finish his speech, and I'll approach him.
So he finishes his speech with, "Let the dancing begin!" lifting his tankard, and everyone sort of raises a tankard, has a drink, and then the dancers parade out onto the square and start dancing around the maypole, doing an intricate dance where they wrap ribbons around it in different patterns, and there's flowers, and it's all very, very pretty.
Suki's just waiting for a sacrificial altar to come out any second. She's a little uneasy.
Okay, I'll approach the town leader or some mayor, I think it is. I'll introduce myself. Hello, my man. I'm the Earl of Latchford. Very pleased to meet you.
You say this to the mayor, to the
Yes.
He will slap you heartily on the back and be like, "Welcome, welcome! So good of you to join us for the festival. Were you?
Sorry.
Were you sent by an official? We've not seen any officials this way for years."
Oh no, my good man. I'm just travelling north onwards to the next town. I was just inquiring. We stopped at another town about 10 miles south of here.
South? In the Dreadwood?
It could have been.
No one passes through the Dreadwood.
Oh.
There's town.
Well, yes, it's like a a fenced-off sort of town. Yes, yes, about half day's ride from here. Do you know of it?
I don't recommend going there.
I know a man who will know. I know a man. And he stands on a table again as if he's about to give a speech to everyone. But instead he just booms, Neville! Neville! Where are you, Neville? And eventually a man comes along. He's wearing like leather armor and he's got a bow and there's like skins tied to him. And like pelts and things. And he's like, all right, thank you. You don't have to shout so much. Yes? How can I help you?
Well, I was just saying to. Oh, sorry, I didn't catch your name. I was saying to the main man. Was it the one carrying the barrel? I was just talking to our mayor here, and he said to speak to you about a town 10 miles south of here.
A town 10 miles south. Oh, in the Dreadwood.
Oh, I assume so.
The road isn't even very good through the Dreadwood. Why would anyone go through there? No, I've hunted down that way, and he sort of like takes a long finger and begins inserting it in around and into his nose, and sort of like wipes it on his leather. He's like, I've been that way, but no, there's no town up that way. Some good hunting, deer near the lake.
But we've seen it, and at that Rose would sort of look around Pippin's legs, looking up at him. We've seen it with our very own eyes.
Can you make me a persuade roll?
Believe in me. Okay, let's see. Actually, you know what? I'm using the net 20 on that because my charisma sucks.
So on your
Nice.
nat 20, he's like,
I think somebody should really do something. It's not a normal town. I think it might be cursed.
Alright, I tell you what, I'll escort you out that way. He sort of looks back at the festival. But it's getting late. We'll go in the morning.
Do we want to go back there?
No. She's like, Sugi's shaking her head. No.
Yeah, Rose is looking up at Kiara and Pippin.
I think we should stay here with a view to heading north along the road tomorrow.
So you want to warn us of this town that we've not really heard of before. Did you get the name? Everyone make me a history check, because actually none of you asked, but you might have seen it written somewhere.
Oh, wow.
Pippin, you saw the words in a town square. It read "The Heroes of Blindlestrad," and it was a little plaque in memoriam to some great event. Blindestrad.
Well, yes, my man, it was a Bindlestrad. Does that ring any bells with you?
I've heard stories about Blindestrad, but they're just old folk tales.
Something had happened there to the people. They turn into terrible. And she's looking around because she doesn't want to make
Jack
anybody
the
else panic.
Ghoulie comes out at night to come and get your kids.
We're not just telling stories. Look! And she pushes up her sleeve and shows sort of the rest of the claw mark. And they attacked us. We had to fight.
Well, I don't want to go chasing down the southern road on my own and chasing stories. Bantham! Bantham! Oh, hang on, I'll go and grab him. And Neville sort of walks over towards the mayor and, like, pulls on him. And he's like, yes! How can I help you, Neville? These people are talking about, Blinderstrad down the road, 10 miles south. Blinderstrad? No such place. Nope. Stories.
And Rose looks again at everybody else and says, don't we have to do something? What if other people go there and stay there during the night like we did?
Do we want to go back? I want to go back.
I mean, we don't have to go inside. You know, it seems that all the bad things just started to happen, A, when it was night, or when the sun went down, and B, when you were inside. But if we at least could show them that there is a town.
But we did tell them there was a town. We told them there's a bad
but
town.
I mean, what would you do if some stranger came into your town? You know, I'm coming from a village very similar to this. You're very close-knit, and you don't necessarily believe the people that come from the outside. But if we could at least show them.
Does the name of the town ping anything for me?
No. Good question.
It may... I mean, we're the only ones who've seen it, so if someone... at least if we went close enough to confirm it for them.
Yeah, that is what I would do. But we don't have to go inside.
No.
I definitely don't want to do that.
Going inside, again, I don't recommend it, and I don't think any of you do either.
Nope.
No, I don't think so. Let's rest here the night. At least then we can make our way tomorrow with a fresh belly full of food and fresh horses, and we can make sure we're safe. We have the best way possible to defend ourselves if we have to make a run for it.
Well, we did it once.
Yep.
What's the worst that could happen?
Please don't say that.
Careful what you wish for.
And in this village, you can find inn, food, beds, everything. No problem whatsoever. Neville agrees to go with you in the morning to go and view Lindestrad. As you head down the road, you can see a sort of mist ahead of you.
Was it there? It wasn't there when we came from that direction, right? Mist? Or is it just early morning mist that could be just something that we didn't come across?
Why don't one of you make a check to see what kind of mist it is? Which one of you will make a check for the group?
What sort of check is it?
Survival.
Both, no.
I've got 4 on survival.
Yeah, I got what do I have?
Oh, I got a 5.
So, Kiara, sorry, you jumped the gun a little bit there because we're going to use your nat 1.
Oh, sorry.
This is indeed early morning mist.
It's fine.
This is indeed early morning mist.
What does Neville make of it?
Early morning mist. He doesn't even see it at all. He's just like, come on, let's go and find this place. Do you let him lead, or are you leading him?
We'll lead, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we all on different horses, or do we have a cart?
I imagine you would have taken a cart again, maybe, or would you have taken horses? Which would you have preferred to have done?
If they don't have something like a pony, Rose would have. Yeah, I mean, if there's a cart, she would have hopped on the cart or just right behind somebody.
Taken horse.
Cart.
Okay, so for those of you that would prefer a horse, you have a horse. For those of you that would prefer to be horse and cart, you are sitting in a cart.
Sugi and I on the cart.
Yeah, two.
And as you crest the rise, you can see Blinderstrad dead ahead of you. But as you pass into the mist sort of disappears. It washes around you, and you can see Blinderstrad ahead. As Neville passes into the mist, he disappears.
All right, we've seen the town, and he's disappeared. Together.
I think it's time to turn back.
Yes.
I think time
Yes.
time to turn around.
I just poke Sugi.
Don't like this. Sugi's like just like wide-eyed, just like frozen up again. Doesn't like any of this.
So you're turning around?
Yep.
Yeah.
As you turn around, the road behind you is in incredible disrepair. This is indeed not the road that you came here on.
Mm.
And another town with a large fence and gates stands further down the road.
Ooh.
Does that one have a nameplate? Like a little.
No.
Is it a new town? Does it look different from the first one?
The fence looks very similar. You're at quite a distance. You'd have to get closer to try and figure out how different it is.
I do the whole freezing thing together with Suki. And you just hear Rose mumbling, "My dad was right. My dad was right. I should never have left. I should never have left."
I come up beside them and both put a hand on both their shoulders and just we made it out one time.
A tendril of mist extends from the forest and sort of leans across the road.
I'm gonna use Eyes of the Dead again, or Eyes of the Grave again. See if I can ping undead within 60 feet, as long as they're not behind.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Is the horse fine with all of this?
The horse is trying to back away from it, but...
Mm-hmm.
So with Eyes of the Dead activated, Kiara,
Eyes of the Grave, yes.
the mist is undead. The town that you've turned around to face, you can see a large apparition standing above it, almost the figure of a vampire. And if you were to look back at the Blinderstrad, you can see almost the same apparition at this distance. It's just like a mist. It's just mist, but it looks a lot like a werewolf.
Gonna be caught in a crossfire between vampires and werewolves.
There's a party marching towards you from down the road.
Rose actively tries at this point to just let the horse have its will and turn back and just get out of there.
Sugi just has no idea what to do with it, and this is way beyond anything she can comprehend at this point. Like, nothing makes sense.
No.
Is there some way we can hide and let them pass without them seeing us? We could try and flip the cart and pretend it's broken down.
I don't think there was anything between us and that party. I think they're coming towards us.
Yes. I'll make myself scarce. No one seems, these parties don't like kobolds usually, so she like buries herself in some of the supplies in the cart.
Yeah, and until anybody is stopping Rose, she's turning the cart around, or at least tries to.
Are they out of range of my Eyes of the Grave, or were they when I used it?
So as you look at them, your Eyes of the Grave senses are tingling once more, but it's that strange feeling of dead, alive, not dead, dead, alive, not dead, dead, alive, undead. What?
Again, I will pass that on to the group, that it's just like 4.
Nope. And she has Rose sort of whips the, I don't know how to describe that, but just the whole thing that you do with the reins if you want the horses to go faster.
Let's go faster.
Faster.
Cedric walks out from the road, from the forest ahead of you, in his silks, his throat not torn out.
not.
Looking absolutely fine.
So sort of, we're going in one direction. He is coming out sort of close to.
He comes out fairly close. He is as though he is springing a trap. As he steps out from the tree line, and Susie steps out from the other side. And several other villagers. The woman, the guardswoman that you saw rip the heart out of a man, comes out of the forest incredibly close to you guys.
Trying to get the horse to gallop. Just get the fuck out of there.
The guard whose heart was ripped out just the night before stands and takes the horse's bridle.
Does anyone grab hold of my horse?
One makes to.
I'll make to. Well, let's go into it. I'll make to rear the horse and knock him if he gets in the way. If he tries to make a head, tries to grab at reins.
And that is where we'll leave the one shot.
Oh yeah.
Ah, yes, another hopeless ending.
No, there's always a glimmer. There's always a glimmer.
just a little bit.
I was tempted to make a gallop for it.
They'll just abandon everyone.
Like the second I saw miss, I'm like, oh no, miss.
Yeah.
This is.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I definitely.
Oh yeah, awesome.
I definitely did. You guys are very expressive. It's easy to see what's going on.
Got poker faces, yeah. Play cards.
So we'll go round this time in reverse order, and this is your chance to give me a little feedback if you'd like to, or but also mainly to let us know where we can find you online, all the things that you're doing, and where we can get more of your content and more of you, because you guys are awesome and we want to see more of you. And we'll start with Tony.
I'm Nil Chill on Twitter and Lightfingery on Twitch, which sounds like an awful disease. I don't do much stream, or I don't do any streaming as such. I'm all about the viewing it and watching it and being in streams with you, Scrat, and I'm possibly going to go in with Debaldi as well sometime soon. Yeah, that was a great one shot. It was good fun, great party. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tony. So yeah, at Nilchill, I won't do your Twitch link, but if you want to chuck your Twitter in chat so people can follow you easily, that would be great. And next up, Petra. I hope you enjoyed your first time on the show.
Oh, I did. I love stories like that. If everything is hopeless at the end. No, it was so yeah. Thank you again for having me. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, and perhaps the best way is if I just post the Twitter handle, because it has my German family name, which is Volkhausen. I don't expect anybody to know how to spell that. Yeah, I'm hopping from channel to channel. I don't have one specific channel where I'm on. But on this Saturday, I'm on the Twitch channel of Unmade Gaming. They have a 12-hour charity stream again, and I'm running a investigative horror RPG at 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's gonna be even gorier than today.
Yeah, I'm
so
still
feel free to come check that out.
I'm really enjoying. So like those of you in chat who've seen me on Twitter recently, I'm trying out new safety devices and stuff, and I'm still building my confidence in them. Before I go into anything particularly XR other rated. But yeah, I'm still 7 p.m. maybe. I'm just...
I mean, it'll be on YouTube.
Yeah.
At some point, people will catch up. And I'm not saying it wasn't bloody enough. Like Rose was definitely, I think at the very last scene when you said we're going to end, I was about to say that something snaps in her and she's just madly taking her dagger, just stabbing at everything. And I like those situations where you're just surrounded and you just don't know what to do and how to get out of it. And And it's a one shot, so if you're dying, then you're dying. But it's yeah, it makes for a good story. So I really like that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Zelda.
Hi, I'm Zelda. You can find me on Twitter at transzeldas with an S on the end. I This is probably my third hopeless ending style vampires. You know, the whole deal about being. Yeah, I enjoy. I always enjoy it, and especially this new darker campaign style. It's pretty good. I like it, and oh man, I always feel like we should follow up, but maybe another time.
Well, this is the thing. I do keep a big pink book of plays, and there are follow-ups. But I've not actually got around to following anything up yet. I'm still writing new content, so.
And like Scrat, I am also implementing safety devices for myself. And yeah, just follow me on Twitter. You can find me. I normally repost everything that I'm in, be it on Scratch channel or on Tuesdays. I am on the RPG Lab doing a new campaign called the Inquisition, and that is at 5:30 BST and 11:30 PDT or PST, PDT. But yeah, awesome. Thank you for having me on again. It was wonderful, and I will gladly continue to be in your one shots.
Thank you for coming back again. It's always great to have you, and that goes to all the rest of you as well. It's always lovely to have people in chat. And so, last but certainly not least, Shauna.
Oh man, always have a ton of fun with these one shots, even though it ends up on slightly like ominous circumstances. But it's always fun, kind of encroaching on a town and like kind of slowly figuring out what's going on. So always have a ton of fun. But yeah, I'm Flying Serious on Twitter. I'll put in chat 'cause it's one of those names where I didn't like intend on saying it out loud, and it always trips people up. But I'm on Waffle Talk, which is a dice camera action reaction show on Power Score RPG, where we talk about the dice camera action show that's on the DnD channel, and that's on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. and it's reblogged. It's rehosted on the DnD channel on Thursdays at 7 p.m. And I am also on the Encounter Roleplays Star Wars game, Rise of the Dark Side, which begins at probably about 40 minutes. So that should be fun. Right now we're a bunch of Jedi children that might be inflicting some light treason, so that's interesting.
That sounds like a typical Encounter roleplay sort of plot to me. I love that channel. We'll be going there after this, most definitely. And it'd be cool to check you out over there as well. I've been watching the last couple of weeks. You guys are adorable but scary. As all children are, I think. So, me. These are my social links, guys. If you guys want to get in on a one-shot... Well, first of all, if you want to get in on a one-shot, send me a DM on Twitter. That's the best place to get me. I do all of my organising through there. If you send me a DM through Discord, I will get it and I will include it, but it will be secondary. It will be something I do as an afterthought. Discord is better for asking D&D questions. We've got forums in there where you can talk about... D&D, the mechanisms behind D&D. We've had some chats about safety devices and that sort of things. Also artwork. We've got about 4 different art channels going on in there at the moment, which are producing some really lovely work. I should really tweet some of that, actually.